I don't know if you guys have been following me on Twitter much, but today we're going to be doing a live recording session at Air Studios in London. So that's where I am now. So if you've missed all that, that's what's going to be happening today. It's currently 8 in the morning, right? So the way we're going to be doing this is later today, and I'm trying to stream this. I'm currently in the hotel, as you can tell, so if the quality's crap. But I needed to test that I am using Restream or whatever. So basically, I'm trying to stream to both Twitch and to YouTube at the same time, so that anybody who is interested in seeing how we do this will be able to. I have no idea if this is a thing. I don't know how you check on YouTube, unfortunately. I don't know where my stream would be. But hopefully it's streaming there. We'll have to have a look. It says it's online with 34 people watching. I can see that Twitch is working well. But where the hell is YouTube? Oh, there it is. I can see it. Okay. So I can now see the chat room for both. So YouTube will probably be the best. Best, I imagine, but I've got you both there. So what we're going to be doing is, it's very exciting. So I've been working on a project for a while now. I'm going to leave the details of the actual project for now, because I don't know if they want us to talk about the actual project, but I know that they are excited about the orchestral score that we're going to be doing. So today we're going to be going to Air Studios, like I mentioned earlier. And today we're recording a string section and some woodwinds, and we have 2 sessions today, so there'll be 6 hours, I think, that we're going to be there. And then then tomorrow we have a string session and then a brass session. So today's sessions are from 2 till 9, I think, 2 till 9 p.m. So if you're in America and you're still up, it's bedtime. You should probably get some sleep now if you want to watch, because that will probably be around like 6 in the morning till 12 midday LA time. I tried to work it out. And then tomorrow's session will be tougher to watch because it's going to be early morning here, so 10 a.m. So it's going to be late night LA. But you know, this is exciting times, guys. This is exciting times, and it appears as though the stream is working in both. On both websites now, which is awesome. So if anybody has any questions or any requests, let's get them out of the way now, because when we actually start the session, we are going to be unable to check it every minute because we have a lot of things to record. And I will quickly add up the cues. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. We have 26 cues to record in 2 days. I don't know how well that's going to be, but I have been putting together a video blog for you guys, because I know you guys, I know that I haven't been doing them a lot recently, which I also mentioned in the vlog, and hopefully now you guys can understand why. So, you know, over the past couple of weeks, I've written about 50-ish minutes of music, which isn't insane amounts, but it's, as you'll hear later today, hopefully, it's very dense orchestrational stuff. So there's a lot to listen to there. But yeah, so I have been keeping that in a video blog, and I will be. I got the iPhone 7. I got the iPhone 7 specifically for this reason, so some of you may have seen that. Yeah, you may have seen that I was asking about phones and stuff. It was basically so that I had the best camera for today, and yeah. So now we have that. We have a good camera. We have a good thing to film, and so hopefully you can forgive me for not. For not filming all the overviews and stuff. I do have a few coming up. I was going to do an overview for a sample library called the Orchestra, funnily enough. Stig wants to know if I've lost weight. Probably. I haven't been eating well, so I can put it back on. Oh, I look ill. Oh well. It's probably just the camera. But yes, so if you're worried about not being able to catch the stream, if I live stream it, It should archive on both YouTube and Twitch. Twitch usually stays for 2 weeks, but I'll try and get it so that it's there for the whole time, assuming nothing goes wrong. And that's why I kind of wanted to do this live stream just before just before the session. The reason being is, first off, I don't know what the internet situation is going to be in air. I don't know if it's a good internet, a bad internet, or if they're going to have issues with internal restrictions on filming certain things. So I just wanted to get that out of the way first. But I also wanted to let you know that if for some reason the live stream does not happen, I will be filming the whole thing so we've got the iPhone 7 for the vlog. I've got my fisheye camera with that. It's basically like a Zoom H2, so it's got some studio grade microphones on that one. I'm going to put that in the room so that eventually down the line when that video comes out, you will be able to see the orchestral session with decent audio. So you'll see the orchestra. That'll be in the video blog. And the laptop will probably, just because of noise, like the fan noise that you can probably hear now, the live stream will be from inside the booth, not from inside the room. I'll try and arrange it so that you can see the desk and the players, but for obvious reasons, like noise reasons, we have to keep the live stream in the booth and not in the room. But you'll be able to hear it all through the speakers and stuff. Okay, so let's have a look at what everyone's doing. Is anybody excited? I know I am. So someone asked, did I orchestrate myself? I did not. So basically what happened with the orchestration, and all this I go into in the video blog. I'm not sure what I can say about the team that we have. I can say that I'm working on this score with Anne-Catherine Dern. She's awesome. I took most of the big epic action cues, that's kind of my thing. She took all the musical ones, the ones where you write actual music. And our score was produced by Klaus Badalt, which is awesome. I worked with him for those Monster High films I did last year. So this is it's a good team. And Anne's been saving my ass a lot because she's done recording before. So she's kind of holding my hand through the whole process, which is good. But yeah, the lion's share of the music will actually be mine. So and I'm slightly worried by it, and I'll tell you why. Not worried, just cautious. I'm cautious about it because a lot of my music is very big, loud, complex. Particularly for brass. The brass players have got a lot of there. Oh, cheers, John. Yeah, so it's getting them to record it perfect, and these are more like sweetening sessions. So I think, it's not the big orchestra, this is, but it's a sizable orchestra. So I think we have around 30 strings, like 10 brass, something. It's it's basically a sweetening session. So we've produced these things, but we have this live orchestra to play alongside the music, and we're recording at Air Studio. So I could not care less about the size of the orchestra. If it was just one dude playing a recorder at Air Studios, I would be just as excited as I am right now. I arrived just in time, by the way, for the English summer. So for those of you who don't know, I live in Los Angeles, California. Like 25 degrees Celsius every day. So, I get used to T-shirts. I've still got the British tan, though. And everybody in England was telling me, oh, no, it's fine. We're having like 30 degrees and stuff. So I only packed one jumper, thinking it was going to be summer. And even that I almost didn't bring. So I was like, I'll be fine. I arrived. It's pissing it down with rain. Love it. I love England so much. So the good thing is I can see both chat rooms. And can everybody see me okay? Like, is the quality decent enough? At the minute I'm on the hotel Wi-Fi, so Lord knows what this is going to be like. But I can just see, I can see all the chats and stuff. So let's like I said, let's go through some of these. I'm happy that people are happy for me because I think you guys can probably tell by the way I'm talking that I am pretty excited about this whole situation. Yep. So I'm pretty excited. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure you all knew that if the live stream doesn't happen later, what will be happening is there will be a lot of video coverage, and there will be, besides the lighting, how about I turn that on? How about that? There we go, better lighting. The lighting in the booth probably won't be very good, by the way, but you should be able to get the gist of what's going on. And yeah, and that's the other thing in the vlog. I covered from the point when I knew we were recording live, and I just, I'm talking about, what's happening in the process right up to crunch, all the things that are going wrong, that I'm doing wrong, checking score prep, talking about the types of stems we need to prepare for the session. Hopefully I can get some video footage of how that actually integrates into the studio system. So for those of you who are trying to get into, music recording, I am very new to it, and hopefully you guys can see how I fuck up about it, and you can learn from my mistakes as I learn from my mistakes as we do them. So yeah, when you watch the video blog that I'm making of it, it'll take you from the point where I realized that we're recording live, and then I literally, I almost like just documented any time something significant happened, and talk about it like I usually do in one of my video blogs, where I'm pointing the camera at myself, the narcissist that I am, and then, show some examples and stuff. And then a little travel montage, and now we're down here. Say again, someone wants to know when the recording session will be. So it's currently 8 AM. So, just so that you can all get like when it is for you. It's 8 AM now. Well, it's 20 past 8. The session starts at 2 PM. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. So 6 hours from now is when it will be happening. I will actually be going down to the studio in 2 hours to get some video footage of how it's all set up. Again, so that those of you who are interested in getting into this field can see how we, how it's done. And I'm just going to be bothering. Our engineer is going to be Jake Jackson, if any of you know Jake. I love that guy. Like, he's super nice. So I'm looking forward to actually working with him. And I think, by the way, Anne is going to be doing some video cutaways for the video blog, showing how it works when you're not in person. So I'm obviously attending in person. So that would be part of the video blog that I wouldn't have been able to include. But Anne will be, she's in Los Angeles at the minute, so she will be basically Skyping in and having an MP3 stream during the session. So she's actually going to film a video blog for me, I think. I asked her to. She's going to be filming a video blog for me there, showing how it works when you're not attending the session, because you can record at recording studios without actually being there. I'm here mostly because it's my first ever recording session, so it's a milestone in my career. So of course I'm going to attend. But also it helps if I'm here because I can make decisions just on the fly. If something needs changing, or if they need an extra pair of hands, I'm here. I know the project because I've been in it for the past month or two, and we can just saves any kind of miscommunication. Even during the breaks, I can be there. Could you document how the orchestra will play together with your program stuff? Yeah, absolutely. So that would be a mixing stage thing. I'll probably, the problem is the deadline for the mix is going to be quite tight. So actually filming during that will be tricky. But what I will do is I will mix, and then after the fact, I will show how the stems integrate with what I wrote. And you should be able to hear it. So if we're streaming from the session, you should hear that there will be playback. There'll be playback from my actual synth sessions. And it's called, I go into this in the vlog, but that's essentially called a mix minus. So you render out a stem for the Pro Tools session. So you render out your click track, and I explained how to do that in the video blog. And then you render out a mix minus, which is basically everything in your track except for the things you're going to be recording live. And then when when the orchestra, if they want to hear something, if they want to hear what they're playing along to, they can turn that layer on, so they've got all the big percussion, all the choir, all the woodwinds, depends what you're actually recording. And there's also a stem, which is just the things you're recording, and that's the orchestra-only stem. And that one allows you to, allows the engineer to reference the two parts together. You know what I mean? So they can record live and then reference what should be there, should we need to. So that that you should be able to see on the live stream, should it happen. Yep. So yeah, and someone says like they're excited to see this being a stepping stone, and this is for me like, and I'm not shy about the fact this is a big moment for me personally. Like this is something I've always wanted, always wanted to achieve. I'm glad it happened on a fun project, and the thing about this project, and again, I'm not sure specifically about the project what I can say. I know that we've they're excited to have people listen and get excited about the music we're writing. But the good thing about this project is I got to literally, and you will hear it later, I got to just go huge, like huge, big, like massive, epic, all these kinds of things, but really kind of story focused. So you'll be hearing some big themes. Like if you guys like my themes, you'll be hearing some big themes later. Yes, it's going to be exciting. And then once it's out, I think the project actually comes out on the 20th, just so that you understand how much of a crunch we're in, and hence the tiredness. I'm like jet lagged, so I got up at like 5:30, so I'll be crashing hard when the session starts. But I imagine the excitement of the situation will take over in the end. How many players? I think we have. It must be like 50-ish players all to. No, is it? I don't know. It's a medium sized. It's a medium sized orchestra, and for my tracks particularly, it's more of a sweetening thing. So I have two types of tracks. Anne covered most of like the musical, like sweeping score parts. Hers will sound amazing with the orchestra size we've got. They will sound perfect. If you guys have heard what I write, I've written essentially my usual kind of thing where I've got like 500 brass players and 1,000 strings or something very super unrealistic. But having these live players, particularly having 30 strings playing what I played, it's sweetening, so I can put those over the top, and then melody lines, and I've got lots of these fast which with spiccato samples sounds okay, but if you've got even just like the 30 players, which is still a significant amount of players, playing that along, it will just add to this kind of grandiose realism of the whole situation. Did I completely migrate to Cubase? Yes, I've completely migrated for composition. Sound design, I still use Ableton, by the way. You feel excited listening to how excited I am. I don't know what to do with my hands, by the way. I'm a very emotive person when I talk with my hands. That's how I actually speak, as people on YouTube are mentioning. So, yeah. If you're watching this on Twitch, or you're watching this on YouTube, just know that if one of the stream qualities goes down at some point, I am streaming simultaneously to Twitch and YouTube. So if one starts to go funny, you can check the other one and see if it's either the stream or it's just that website that's messing up. So you have options. I'll probably try and check the chat for both. Hopefully to see that it's, make sure it's all working and stuff. But like I mentioned, we won't have much opportunity to actually, like this, like when we're recording, we have so much actual recording to do, and I need to be on point, and I'm also doing some video at the same time. I won't have too much time to check chat. So for the next, let's say 10 minutes, any questions or anything you want to see from the recording session later, in the event we actually get to live stream and it's a stable connection, that is, I'd say we're about 80%. There's an 80% chance we'll have a stream that goes through the session. But in that small eventuality that we don't live stream, I will video blog. So I want to hear what you guys want to see from the session, what you want to, what you guys want to see from the session, and if you have any questions about what we're actually going to be doing, that I know I can answer. Like I mentioned, I don't know what I can say about the project itself yet, but I do know that they're cool with us live streaming the session, so long as it's through this audio. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't give you like direct audio or anything like that, because until it comes out, we need the full quality to be reserved for the actual show. So that's good. Is Restream a thing on the Mac? Yes, it is. I know doing service streaming, it was nitty gritty. Why did we choose Air Studios? I didn't actually choose it. So Robin, who booked our session, booked in And I think that's just because it is perhaps the best studio in the world for these kinds of big scores, you know? Who's the scoring mixer? So our engineer today is Jake Jackson. I'm actually going to be doing my own mixing, and I will be showing that as well. Will I be doubling some of the real orchestra? Yeah, so the way I'm planning it is for the big epic action tracks, it will be more of a sweetening. So we will record the orchestra and I will layer it in to make what is already there sound more real. So the samples will still stay. And there was a good article about this, by the way, if you're interested in how this works. It's really old. It was about Hans Zimmer's Gladiator score, and they showed like what it sounded like when an orchestra played it, what the synth demo sounded like, and then how they sounded together. And you'll hear that the big things actually benefit if you have the samples in as well, because it fills it out, even when it's not realistic. But the like we also have some softer cues, like some more not generic, but more romantic, more not underscore, but just more more musical type things. They will probably be more replacement type cues. So like sample libraries, particularly for like string melodies and things like that, are good, but they're not live player good yet. So whilst I may still keep the synth strings in the mix with those cues, they may be replaced. Like if it just sounds good live, I will just use the live. But that's the good thing, because I get to deal with that. Right, so will I be using that legendary Hans Zimmer piano? I'm going in at 10 o'clock, 4 hours before the session starts, and I have my portable little recorder. So what I might do is, while they're setting up the mics, just sneak down on top like that and just go dong. Just record. Am I conducting? No, because I would waste time by not knowing how to do it. I know it is dun, 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 dun. Is it in first or out first? So down is 1, and then do I go to my left shoulder? Like I'm right-handed, so do I down and then do I go in and then out and then up, or do I go down, out, across and up? If someone conducts, please do let me know. Will I direct the session, tell the musicians when they're messing up your music? For my cues, yes. And as I mentioned, Anne, I wrote this score alongside Anne Dern, so she will be on Skype with talkback into the room. Well, not talkback into the players, actually. I think she's talking directly to Jake. She will be directing her ones, I think, and I will be directing. But yeah, so this is for all intents and purpose mine and Anne's session, because we're the ones who are responsible for our music. So if it's bad, it's on us. So need to make sure. Down, left, right, up. Okay. So you see, I could do it, and most of it's in 4/4. It's just that a lot of it's at like 140, 150, and I'll probably like fuck up the fuck them up with the timing. How long is the session? I think we have 6 hours today and 6 hours tomorrow, so 12 hours total. I think it's 2 3-hour sessions a day, if I remember that correctly. Although it depends on the conductor, most break the rules. How long is it? Oh, I should conduct at least. Well, I tell you what I'll do. Unfortunately, like I was thinking about doing this anyway, because the only jumper I have is my big one that says Millwall across it, which, if you don't know, is like a notorious football team here in England that I supported from when I was a kid. So I'm going to have to get one of those posing. Every composer who ever recorded live has that one photo of them like standing at the conductor's little area with just looking off into the distance. Even though most of them, there's no players there. I'll probably get one of those, but like in the big Millwall one, just so that I'm conducting, but I'm still street. Street. Am I still using Cinematic Studio strings for strings? I am, yes. Things get interesting with 6/8 mixed measures. They do. I'm not actually using much of that. I'm trying to, when we realized it was live, I tried to keep it as simple and as easy to record as possible, but then I got carried away with my production. Oh, Christ. What did I do there? What did I do? Hopefully you're still there. There we go. Right. What project is it? So I'm not sure what we can say about the project yet, but you will obviously hear more about it. Down. You look very excited. Of course I'm excited. Of course I'm excited. It's not every day we have milestones. Like every year for the past like 4 years, I've managed to achieve a milestone. So in terms of career progression, I'm definitely feeling on point. And I feel like I've learned a lot very quickly. I've lost a lot of sleep over the past few years, but it should be worth mentioning that you know, you guys watching particularly, it wouldn't have been possible without you lot. You know, so I have nothing but love for everybody watching this right now, because it is like your support, and you know, you guys, when you guys share my music or talk about me or whatever like that, you know, even if you're just sharing a video I did of an overview, or you know, I'm doing some vlog that's me talking to a drunk person, whatever it is, every time you guys interact with me in this way, you make me a more viable option for people. I don't know why it is that way, but you know, it's one of those exposure things, and I'm fully aware of I am where I am because of the exposure provided to me by you guys. So everything I have is because of you lot, you know. So you know, so it's true. By the way, Billy Bob X's is my brother, and he's trolling me. If you're in the Twitch chat, feel free to abuse him. But yeah, I'm just stoked that we're here, and hopefully you guys can forgive me for not doing any of the overview videos and stuff. I felt really bad actually, because I was talking to the guys who made the sample library, the Orchestra, and I was talking to Jasper Blanc, who you know, who did the Fluid shorts and the Oceana choir and all these things. And I said to them, look, I want to do a video on your thing, and they're like, oh, cool. And then they're messaging me like, are you going to do it? And I'm like, I will, but you know, I'm doing a thing. I'm doing a thing. Can't talk about it yet, but I'm doing a thing, and I'll you know, I'll do it as soon as I can. So hopefully you guys can understand the busyness. Like one of the big things we had was we were still the queue approval process was still going up until yesterday or the day before. So there was a couple of all-nighters. I think there was one night where I had to write 8 minutes of music, which isn't too bad, but I did that from 1 till like 5 in the morning, you know, so I was already tired. But delivered that, and then that got approved alongside some extra parts from Anne. You know, I did that like 2 or 3 times, which like in the last few days. So the tiredness is definitely setting in alongside the jet lag. So I'm going to be very tired, but I get the feeling it's going to be worth it. Will your players be in the big Lyndhurst Hall room? They will. They will be in the big room, the big boy room. Congrats, Daniel. Your music sounds awesome enough with samples. Can't imagine how much more awesome it will be with live players. Me either. I have no idea what to expect. It could be shit. No, it won't be. It'll be awesome. Yeah, just... I remember when I did these Monster High films last year. I was working with my then assistant Shane, who has gone on to greener pastures, but he was helping me out, and he actually managed to rustle up a couple of live woodwind players. And just seeing how much, I think we had like a bassoon, a clarinet, and a flute, just three live players, and seeing how much they added to that score, like in the cues where they were useful. Obviously, I didn't use them much in the action cues, but like in the cues where, you know, we had like the whimsical or the comedy or something, they just added something that I could never get with samples. And it is one of those magical things people always talk about. It's that human element, and I'm not sure why it's so hard to define. If we could define it, we'd have perfect samples already. But there's something like, and I remember how excited I was just hearing those recordings, dropping them in, and being like, I sound like I know what I'm doing all of a sudden. So the fact that we're going to have, you know, these live string players, these live brass players, actually playing back, you know, something of the kind of music I love writing. You know, because Monster High was completely new for me. You know, comedy, slapstick, all that kind of thing. It had action cues, but it was done in a more comedic way, which was great fun, don't get me wrong. But a lot of you have heard how I write when I'm writing for fun. It's very big and epic and majestic, regal, royal, you know, these type big brass sounds and things like that. And this score is that. So, you know, I couldn't be more excited, I don't think. And nicely to coincide, by the way, just so that any of you who are interested, you know, in my Project Alpha and Project Bravo sample libraries, which I make, to coincide with this exciting time, I teamed up with VST Buzz, if any of you guys know that, and we're running a sale on Project Alpha, Project Bravo, but it's a flash sale, so I think it only lasts a week or two, where we're selling the bundle for €99, so you get both of them for what would be half the price of one of them. You know, if you want to join in on all the excitement that I'm going through right now. But yeah, so what kind of instruments do I play? I play a lot of instruments very poorly. I play them serviceable amounts. Question: do you have a different mindset when composing, knowing that there will be live recordings done in terms of arrangement? That's actually a very good question, because when I started writing, I knew that there would be some live players. And I started writing as if there was going to be new players. But then I realized that my music would serve the project better if I produced it how I normally produce. If I produce it in my big, just my most comfortable way doing it. And I honestly think it's for the best. And when you guys hear the score, you know, it will sound larger than you could do with a live. Well, you could probably do it with a live orchestra, but it sounds larger than life. But that serves the project really well. So I think that the way I did it works best. It just makes the life of the orchestrator who has to turn this like 500-piece string section I've written down to like a 30-piece section, you know, and figure out. Because like at times I have cellos playing a melody while they're playing a rhythm, while they're doubling the double bass. You know what I mean? So he has to figure out how to make that work in a live setting. But the good thing is because the samples now are so serviceable, I can layer that directly up against. I can layer that directly up against the samples I've done, and it will just add realism to them. And those bizarre combinations that I've already lined up will still be there, ready to go, but you know, now they will just sound even. In fact, if anything, I'm adding 30 players on top of the 500 I've already got, so it'll sound even bigger. That's that's the dream. Am I going to get inspired from orchestral tools, and will we see a walkthrough? To be honest, I've been so in what I've been doing, I don't even know what that is yet. People have been mentioning it. I haven't had time to check it out. Is the Mood Club and Chaos coming? Yep, they're both coming. They're both coming. Just give me a goddamn minute. Does mixing on headphones sound different than mixing on studio monitors? Yes, it does. You can, like, one of the things I got was there's this thing called SonarWorks. And the headphones I have are called AKG 712 Pros. Now, SonarWorks is a monitor calibration software. So you get a microphone and it tells you to do some sample recordings. It just walks you through it. And then what it does is figures out what your room is doing that takes it away from a flat signal, and it counteracts. So if your room's got like a high-end boost, you know, because you've got like flat walls facing each other, and like it just does an EQ cut of the same amount, so that you end up with a flat signal. They also do a headphone calibration thing. You can't calibrate that yourself. They calibrate it, but they have lots of popular studio headphones. So I have the calibration software on my AKG 712s, and I have it on my studio monitors, and they do translate very well. Like when I put the headphones on the headphone mode, it does sound very, very close to what my speakers sound like through the calibration with the room calibration that I did. So if you're going to get headphones, you would be best served by having a calibration software so that even if it wasn't perfect, if it matched the monitor setup that you're used to, you will continue to develop your ear with that set of speakers. Like for example, I still use BX8As, which are cheap monitors. That like you can buy a pair of those for cheaper than one good Genelec speaker. But I've had those for 12 years now. I know what a mix sounds like. I've experienced when a director says that's an amazing mix and that's a shitty mix, both through those speakers. And so every time that happens, I just mix it like how I mixed the good one. And that's been going for 12 years. So now I think I can produce a pretty decent mix through which, what most people would consider bad speakers. So it's about what you know. But once it's calibrated to the room software and the headphones, now I'm adjusting to that. But it's important that your speakers can put out, like if you have a 5-inch driver, you're not going to be able to put out 40 hertz, even with calibration. So, get like an 8-inch driver, like a big speaker, even if it's a little bit cheaper. Make sure it sounds good enough, and then when you calibrate it, it can put out all the frequencies to make it a flat signal. How would you mix the reverb from Cubase Project and the reverb the live recording? Funnily enough, a lot of my samples, particularly the percussion ones, were recorded at air because I'm using a lot of Spitfire on this score. So they're going to blend. They should blend 1 for 1. I mean, they were literally both recorded in the same hall, so it shouldn't make a difference. Nice haircut. This is actually the anti-haircut. This is me not getting a haircut on time. I was going to get one, but now I have this long grey stuff. And you see, the thing is in Los Angeles, where I live now, grey highlights is in fashion. So people keep asking me where I get my hair done, and I keep pretending like I'm not actually getting old. Is Project Chaos a thing? Project Chaos is a thing, and it's coming soon. Soon. What orchestral library do you plan to compose with? Will you go for perfection with a mock-up or print scores for the orchestra? I pretty much have every big sample library out there at the minute. I think it's important to have the newest equipment. Not newest, just at least the cutting edge, the things that will make you compose. I buy sample libraries, even if I already have the section. Like if I already have strings, I think I have something like 20 string libraries now, which sounds like overkill. But each one of them does a particular type of sound very well. And I've always approached my composition with production being a strong point of how I write. So, if there's another string library and it will allow me to produce my music better in certain situations, I will buy it. So it really depends on the project I'm working on. But I will, I will do those things. I'll use those libraries. You want to actually see 500 players in a hall? Me too, man. That would be prohibitively expensive, but yes. Is East-West the best? Personally, I don't use the East-West ones that much anymore, mostly because of, they have a separate player, which for whatever reason doesn't work very well for me. So I stick mostly to contact libraries because they work best with my system. For students, would you say what gives you the biggest bang for the buck? Something like Orchestral Essentials, Albion 1, Metropolis Arc 1 if you're doing big stuff. This new Orchestral Tools Inspire sounds like something like that. I'll have to do a big shootout one day. Will I do any videos on the Spitfire stuff? Maybe. I do love me some Spitfire. And that's one of the things. I mean, like the thing with Spitfire is, for me, they can be hit or miss, but they have a pretty decent update. They have a pretty decent way of like addressing issues people have. Like I remember when the Hans Zimmer percussion came out, for example, I was pretty down on it because it was marketed like it was going to be this big not epic, but like this big roomy percussion, and it was kind of that, but it didn't feel like what they were saying it was going to be. But then down the line, when the Junkie XL mixes came out, it was exactly what I expected it to be. And that's like the only percussion I use now for my big epic stuff is the Hans Zimmer percussion, because it's huge and it sounds amazing in the air hall. Air hall said quit, sounds like something else. Okay, I'm just reading through your questions here. How long does it take to finish one complete track? So over this project, I was trying to maintain at least about 2 minutes a day. But the thing is some of these projects, what you do is you say yes to them like at the beginning of the year, and then you sign the dotted line or whatever, saying yep, it should happen around here, and you kind of vaguely organize your year with work. And then we had one of those moments where all the projects started at the exact same time. So there was a moment there where I was doing like to 8 minutes a day, which is a lot of music and it's very tiring. And on this project, particularly the last few days, the amount of music that we did, even though we'd written the score, the revisions or the rejections of cues meant that we had to rewrite scores. And we had to write them quick because we had to get them orchestrated so the orchestrator could get them to the copyist, so that when we get to the studio today, the players have something in front of them to play. And that's something else I mentioned in the vlog yesterday. So all this will be in a big video blog that I'm doing. Is yesterday, like obviously I was on the plane for 12 hours. I was out of Wi-Fi and mobile data for a good 15 hours. And when I arrived, I took like an hour nap. And when I woke up, my email server was down. So when it came back like 2 hours later, I'd missed this email chain. Because what we had to do is we basically had to arrange an order of the cues to record today. Because today we have strings and woodwinds. And when I was on the plane, the order I gave them was I put the cues in the most important cues we record early. So that if we run out of time, like at the bottom of it, the cues that would work without live recordings. So if we missed them, it wouldn't matter. You know, like the synth versions, like there's a cue called 4D. That one is a big rock and roll track with a guitar by Nick Sampson. Like that track has orchestra in it, but it's not important. So that went down the list. But then when I arrived and when my email came back on, I realized that that the woodwinds have now been booked in with the string session. In the first session today is woodwinds and strings, and then later today we have ethnic woods and strings, which meant that the order had to change. So even if there was a less important cue, if it has flute in it, it needs to be done in the first session because that's when we have the flutist. And if it has ethnic, it needs to be in the second section. So, and then when we get the ones that are going to be in those sessions, I then need to go through it again and figure out the order of importance. So if we end up having to push one to the third string session, which is tomorrow, we would still have time to do it. So Anne actually had my back on that one as well. I think I made her mad because she's working hard, if not harder than I am right now, and I was out of contact for so long. So that's one of the downsides of traveling. If you're writing a lot of music, particularly, you have to make sure that all the other bases are covered. But again, I mentioned it in the vlog. This is a mistake I made, and it's one I won't make again. What is it? The phrase goes: a wise man learns from others' mistakes. And that's why I exist to you guys. I'm here to make all the mistakes in a comedically slapstick way so that you guys know not to do it the way I did it. But, I get to have fun doing it, I suppose. What are we recording? We're recording strings and woodwinds today. We're recording strings and brass tomorrow. If permitted, could you post the score with the studio recordings maybe in a video? It would be awesome. I would love to do that. I will have to ask. I do have, obviously, all the PDFs of my score. It's concert scores. Like I say, we're recording in sections for mix purposes. So strings in the room, woodwinds in a booth, and then strings the next day, and then brass by themselves the next day. That way, when we come to the mix stage, we can layer them all in together. And it'll be easier for me because and it'll be faster this way because if a string player messes up a line, but the brass was playing perfect, that brass part is useless because we'll have to record it again. So this way you're kind of covering a lot of bases. Will you ever record a video of your live recording session today? Yes. Assuming everything goes okay with the internet over at Air Studios today, we will actually be live streaming it. And of course I'll be adding on to my video blog as well. Okay, what else we got? Joining in. Where the heck am I? I'm currently in the hotel near Air Studios. I'm walking distance. So the whole point of this stream beforehand was to let you guys know when the streams when the live recording is going to be, because there potentially will be a live stream from the session. But I also wanted to let you know that if that session does not happen, there will be a video blog, and I'll be tweeting all day today, little pictures and the whatnot. So if you have the Instagram, I'm probably going to post it Instagram and then Twitter. If you have the Instagram, I'm H2Daniel on Instagram. That's where I'll be posting a lot of them. On Twitter, I'm at H2Daniel. So make sure you follow there if you want to follow up to date. If the live stream doesn't happen, that's where you'll be able to see what's happening. If the live stream does happen, I'll be doing it anyway, but you'll be able to see me like while everyone's working, just me like taking pictures of the engineer when he's not looking. Good old Jake. How many orchestrators? I think there was 2, maybe 3. I know there was one guy. Again, I'm not sure. Like if that section of the team I can talk about, I'll have to clarify that as the day goes on. But there was 2 or 3, and they're all really good at what they do. Like I looked at the score, and they somehow managed to figure my music out, so that's a good thing. What part of LA did I end up residing in? I live in Santa Monica. Do you prefer to work with an orchestrator? I'll be honest with this live stuff. I'm absolutely blessed to have had an orchestrator, because my music just wouldn't have. The way I write music wouldn't have translated without going through the filter of an orchestrator. How many orchestrators did we? Oh, I already answered that. Okay. So the session later will be it will be going through the built-in mic. The audio of the live stream will be the built-in mic of the laptop, assuming it happens. And the reason for that is we're not gonna release the full quality version of the recordings or anything like that until after the project's released, because obviously we want them to have the exclusivity of actually having the score. But you will be able to hear the conversations. You'll be able to hear me panicking that we haven't got enough time left. You'll be able to see, hopefully, the mix room. So there should be plenty to enjoy throughout the day. Like I say, it's about 9 a.m. now. I will be leaving at 9 a.m. just so that everybody's aware. So if you've got questions and stuff, you've got 8 minutes. But so at 9 a.m. Sorry, not 9 a.m. I'm going over to the studio at 10 a.m. So the Instagram and Twitter marathon of pictures and updates will be starting from about 10 a.m. So an hour from now. The live stream would be happening at 2 p.m., which is now 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 5 hours from now. So you can work that out in your zone. So 5 hours from now is when the actual session starts. So I'm hoping to have a live stream up by then. I think we're going to be recording digitally, not tape, because we need as much flexibility for the mixing as we can get. And we need it quick. So we'll probably get a live mix off the board, and then I'll mix that into the actual synth sessions. Should be good. You guys, if we stream, you guys are responsible for keeping me awake, because, like I said, for the past few days, in the past week, I've pulled 3 all-nighters with a couple of naps in between. My wife absolutely hates me because of it. Well, she didn't hate me, but she hates that I had to do that. And I've just, had a day, like 20 hours of traveling to get here. I've only slept for like 3 or 4 hours because of the jet lag. So I am going to crash pretty hard during the session. So you guys, you're my inspiration for today. Does that sound like a deal? If we can get it up, I'm running. You guys' responsibility is to keep me awake somehow. Yes, I'm going to be doing the mix, and I will be talking about the mix. Am I nervous? Not at all, to be honest. The team that we have, the team that orchestrated, the team that's engineering it, and the team that's overseeing it are all super professional. So I have no doubt that we'll get, even if we only get 1 cue done, that 1 cue will be the best cue of the whole score. I honestly think the score is some of the best music I've ever written. Because I really tried, knowing it would be live. I really, really tried. I mean, I always try, but if you can ever put in 110%, this was the one where I just went for it. The only other time I've done that is like Metal Gear, The only reason I don't do that all the time is it can be damaging to your health. Hence the thinness of me right now. I will start eating again soon, but it's going to be good. So I'm not nervous at all, because I think this is going to go really well. I have faith in it. But yeah, it's going to be good. What's your opinion about Valhalla Reverb? Bit off topic, but yeah, it's good. It's good. I use it for a lot. So I'm hoping you guys are going to be around. Please do when the live stream goes up, if it does, please do share it around. If you're on any message boards, if you're on VI Control, if you're on Facebook, do spread the word that we're doing it. because the more eyes on we get on this project, the more the company will like me, I think, because they want people to know about this score because it's a big thing for them. You know, because it's a collaboration with me and Klaus Badalt and them. You know, so it's a big thing for them, and you know, we're gonna try and take this score through the project and beyond. You know, so we're really gonna go for it today. I'm excited. Yeah, but yeah, definitely all pop in. But yeah, the more you guys share, yeah, the more awesome it would be. So we have 4 minutes. Last call for questions, because like I say, if you want to see something from the session, this laptop, again, I'm just going to reiterate this laptop will be in the booth, in the recording booth, not in the live room. You will hear the music through the speakers, obviously. I'll try and point it towards the string players so that you can see what they're doing, and have like the booth so you can see how the mixing and the engineering goes on that. But I will be video blogging it throughout the day, today and tomorrow. So if there's something you want to see from the session, you've got 3 minutes to let me know. Will the live stream be on Twitch or YouTube? It'll be on both, as it is right now. Is this going to be recorded? Yep, the live session should be archived to the YouTube and to Twitch. Is this for a movie? No, it's not for a movie, but I can't answer project-specific questions just yet that I'm aware of. I need to double check on those. How much does it cost for this project? More than I have, that's for sure. A close-up of the players. Okay, I'll get my camera, and there'll just be some solo, like there'll just be some poor cello player, and he'll just have me like this. Play your best. Could we see the microphone positioning? Yes, make sure to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, because I'll be taking pictures of that when I get in there. They'll be setting up, so I'll make sure to take pictures of how they're going to place the microphones. You want to see everything? Well, that's a little bit forward. I look tired and a bit old compared to my last video. I get that a lot. I'm a very haggard-looking person right now, but hey, what is it Peter Jackson says? It's like I'm gonna change it to music. Pain is temporary, music is forever. Like I'm putting in the effort, and I'm having a tough time of it. Like I'm feeling the sleep deprivation right now, but I know that when this project is done, that music will exist for the rest of my life. Like, so I put in a month or two of solid work. You know, I sacrificed the hours, I sacrificed the going out, because I know that at the end of the day, the music that comes out of it will outlive me. Even if no one listens to it, it will outlive me. So, you know, I don't mind. I don't mind looking old. I don't mind looking decrepit. I'm already married. I've already found the one. So, you know, being beautiful isn't high on my priority list now. Being good and dedicating myself to a thing is what my life's about right now. So I don't mind looking old. It's worth it, in my opinion. We had a script for the score, yeah. You want to see me conduct? I told you, I'll take a fake conductor picture. Like that, in my Millwall jersey. Who are the musicians? The London Metropolitan Orchestra. Okay, right, so that's it, guys. I've got to get ready to go to the session, to go over to the hall. Again, just those things. If you want to see all the pictures, I'm probably going to post them to Instagram because it's easy to do. So on Instagram, I'm H2, so H then the number 2, Daniel. On Twitter, at H2Daniel. That's where I'm going to be posting the pictures and things that I'm going to be taking in the next few minutes, in the next few hours before the session starts. And then so long as we can get permission from the studio and a good internet connection, the live stream will start at 2 p.m. GMT or around abouts. So, yeah. Oh, wish me luck, guys. let's hope that this is something that we will look back on in years as the start of something magical. That sounded corny. I'll take it. Take it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching this first hour. Please do join in, and like I say, make sure when we're live later to share what's going on, because the more people we can get involved with listening to this, the more fun we can have as a community talking about how badly I'm doing at it. Okay, guys. I will see you all later today. Have fun.